Okay. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Today, data science we had to reschedule a bit. Change the recording demo, but we have to reschedule and the data science now you'll study coding and we might take a class on Wednesday and data science the on the finished base of the drive in Okay. So last time the I hope you all remember data encoding ko le demo, and I sincerely hope that every single one of you understood what I taught. Data encoding the some important data tuka. Now the storing data ki ko le uh next slide the storing data ko le now so why must we store data demo? Why must we store data? So first of all, when you get more into data analysis, you should learn how to store and organize your data more. And the over important here, because if you are able to store and organize your data well, then you will be able to gain access to the data more efficiently and analyze the data quickly. So mailap jo mo last time data is almost everywhere. You have data for almost everything nowadays more. So you're provided with a load of data, a large pile of data, very large pile of information. But kyunki research na only few bits of that information and data is relevant mademo. So gashbeni large pile of information and data do anale you have to pick which ones are important, which ones are relevant to your research or data analysis, and then what you will do is you will store them and organize them neatly te. Mangomi tsukara remove pe, gomi tsukara chera select pe bani zuba. So the ani gomi tsukare store beni na taril hapni tuba. Storing data. Okay. Now data storage ko what is data storage? Data storage is an important part of the data analysis te. This you all know. The mingira lap it is storing data somewhere te, and it also allows you to access and analyze the data you need quickly and effectively. Now, there are many ways to store data, and we will get into them today. So most of the time nowadays, we use three main tools to store data. The three important tools which we use to store data are, first of all, spreadsheets. And spreadsheets, you guys will most probably be using this the most. Okay, so Google spreadsheets the and Microsoft Excel kole in depth nara tenye and future na habdon in depth nara, but tare touch up beja to ani kole gachi na ani kole tenge tare. So spreadsheets today are the most common way to store data in workplace joro, you will notice that data is stored in the form of spreadsheets. Chera ani exams the tests how the result te ani table china result te. That result is generated from Microsoft Excel or ani Google spreadsheets le generate bebu ani data de. So spreadsheets is one main way to store data, and it is one of the most used ways to store data. Next, we have the database systems. So database systems now, these include programs such as Microsoft Access and MySQL, which are more complex ways to store data. So what database systems do is they will store data just like spreadsheets, but they will store the data in a more complex manner. Complex way in a store bill, but complex way in a store bill that also means that they offer more powerful tools for organizing and retrieving data. So database systems ko hakoy mo ta. Next, text files la bechiye. So change dhare mamra spreadsheets ko lete because it is one of the most commonly used. database systems the text files kole just ani brief pe explain chi be jagengai nam some in depth pe shemu go chi tatu so database systems kole shi text files lamego chmo text files di as the name suggests they will store data in the form of text chi text be store be jang mach ki type pe dozum be text ani plain text be store be data di for example csv files say what the comma separated value files say and suzumbe that is one example of text files so what text files will do is they are just plain text files that separate data into rows and columns so spreadsheets already uh, spreadsheets higher classes na spreadsheets also store data in the form of rows and columns I'll get into that later it's in depth na spreadsheets today but text files too they also store data just like spreadsheets in the form of rows and columns but rows and columns to tabular form na tabular form I mean like this Microsoft Excel and Google spreadsheets so basically same thing similarly but Microsoft Excel git rows and columns to na store more data and it is in tabular form but what the text files will do is they will also store data in the forms of rows and columns, but rows the columns so they are not separated by lines to tabular form na arrange they are separated by comma symbol animbe difference and you might need to write code to be able to analyze the data. So ani text files kole now let me elaborate on the three main tools which are used to store data nowadays. Okay. Let's go. Spreadsheets first. As I told you, this is one of the most commonly used programs or softwares to store data. The ani defined belavachin, it's a software that allows you to organize data into rows and columns. Very simple. This is an example of this is Microsoft Excel. This is Google Spreadsheet. Examples on Microsoft Excel, Google Spreadsheets, like I said. The advantages it is very easy to use. Experts Microsoft spreadsheets Microsoft Excel use you'll be able to learn very easily how this works. Flexible AI and it can perform calculations using formulas and functions. So results generate both the Microsoft spreadsheet use now why do your teachers use Microsoft spreadsheet to analyze your results and generate your results? That is because they can perform calculations very easily in spreadsheets. So mean average scores to calculate bits okay now next database that's database Microsoft Access but it's similar to Microsoft Excel. It's a type of software that will store data but it will store data in a more complex and organized manner. That's the simple the Microsoft Excel. It was very easy to use. Database it's a bit complex, so it might be a bit more difficult for you to use. But since it is complex, that means it will also offer more powerful tools for organizing and retrieving your data. So it will provide you with more powerful tools, and that is why people use database sometimes. Examples: Microsoft Excel, Access, MySQL, and database. Key examples. Next, the text files okay. So definition of text files thing just plain text contained by files it's a file that will contain text and it will separate data into rows and columns but table zobe lines separate member they will separate it using commas example the csv comma separated files comma separate so csv file is an example the advantage still up What is an advantage of text files? Well, they can be shared with others and they can be imported into another program for analysis. For example, my text files use chabbe let's say I made your results in text files sumchi. The text file na mungo I want it elsewhere lo. I want it in Microsoft Excel lo ana spreadsheet form na goni la wachin. Kachbetwe I can easily import it text files lebe Microsoft Excel na zotwe, and it can also be used for analysis. It can also be shared with others. So text files it is just a plain file containing text. So text contain it should be very small text files. It is very easy and convenient for you to share it with others. So that's one of the major advantages of using text files in there. So Navnang Bomju coding to have there, you can even import certain things from text files into Python. It's very important. It's very easy to import files, text files into other applications or programs. So how go you want? So have you ever used spreadsheets before? Long? 7 and 8, no, not sure. Chingi syllabus, I'm not very familiar, but it's higher classes na jira 9 to 10 le majite depth na rel hapto zumbe and topics because this is a very commonly used application in Matichi. Workplace category, you will notice that they store data in spreadsheets because it is very easy and it also provides a lot of tools for you to work with. The spreadsheet digajmo, it is a software or program that allows you to store data. Store and organize your data in the form of rows and columns. Table form now. Rows, you have your rows, you have your columns. You'll also notice that each row will each box do what box chi do thomega song lami box ti and chulu cells each box is called a cell ana che biology na thomba demo cell didi basic unit smallest unit dira anzumbera Microsoft Excel na box chunku dilura box chunku chulu kara ani laung cells laung because cells make up life anzumbera spreadsheet na these cells will make up the spreadsheet mewade. So hago imo box relu cells selong ani important tamangai elaborate bong. You can also use formulas and functions to provide perform calculations on your data. Ani one of the advantages of using spreadsheets the result generate both the mean scores to evaluate betup se spreadsheet is chabde ani advantage chi abade. Okay, now anatomy of a spreadsheet. So the chilap chua demo each box lu cell se the chunku chulu ani chunku du ani lu cell now ani that's bomb du ani lu cell milap se meme each box lu cell sera lao tu this is also a cell, this is also a cell hago imota. So dile each cell will have a name lo ngachkara lu ming eva demo anzumera cell re lu ming re lo. How will you name this Lavachin Anna? You must have noticed mo ayatalo A B C D sahalam tijanwa de olo columns na rows na 1 2 3 4 5 6 number bejanwa de rows lo columns lo the alphabetically named ben. The uh, how will you name these kashlanda? How will you name your cells Lavachin? First you check what column it belongs to. So any cell ditagemo ana highlight bejamide. This cell belongs to column B te. So B se tijani. Dile which row does this cell belong to? It belongs to row number 4. So B4 se jantuba. That will be the name of your cell and you will address this cell as B4. Hagoimoda. Dile, how can you enter values into spreadsheets and jump over? Just click on the box and then you can type whatever you want. No, just click on a box and then type whatever you want. So it's very easy and simple to use. Next, over. Okay, so when should you consider using what should you consider when using your Google spreadsheets though? First of all, you want to keep your data neat and organized demo. You have to make sure that your data is first of all consistent and labeled, and you have to make sure that it contains no errors. Error can contain mabe data consistent do se in short then you can start arranging and organizing your data though. Next, backup and recovery. So if you press the delete button by mistake, or if you stored your file in a hard drive or a thumb drive and then you lost it or broke it, if you do not have a backup for it, then that becomes a very serious problem demo, especially when the data inside of the spreadsheet is very important. So you cannot really afford to lose your data. Therefore, you must back up and make sure that there is a backup flow. So in case you lose the original, backup to ready with the. So have a copy of your data saved in case something happens to the original data. This is very important. Privacy and security. Some data such as personal information should be kept confidential and protected. So, data analysis na builder, sometimes the surveys to builder, we will ask people questions demo. Sometimes those questions might be very personal, therefore they should be kept confidential. Confidential meaning you should not tell anyone, you should not spread that information around. It should be between the data analyst and the respondents only. And certain information is very it's very private, it's very personal, so you should make sure that you do not spread those types of information around. Now, what is the most important aspect of storing data in data analysis law? The keeping data organized, the imba demo. You have a large pile of information, you want to keep it organized. So, animbe backing up data, the imba demo taro. They're protecting data, privacy, and services. So, anisum so all of the above. What are the advantages of using a spreadsheet program for data storage though? Now, is it a powerful tool for organizing and retrieving data? It's very easy to use Labjua demo, but it might not be that powerful compared to other softwares or programs like Microsoft Access or MySQL. Ani database to compete them so option A is not it. Option C again, ability to keep data confidential and protected to a certain extent to them, but we have to look for the most correct answer. Okay, and can be shared with others or can be imported into other programs for analysis. That is not it. Uh, can be shared with others today, but imported into other programs for analysis. This is most accurate for. This is a very accurate description of text files. Spreadsheet ki description le remember what so Kachime, it is very easy to use imba demo. Tachite imba, it was very easy for you all to learn it. Dele, uh, you could even perform calculations using formulas and functions on it. So that's what demo on Zumbere. Okay. So I hope you all understood this presentation. Storing data ko le deha koi mo ta So storing data, there were three ways to store data in databases, in spreadsheets and text files. So now we will mostly be learning about how you can store data in spreadsheets. But first of all, you have to learn how you can clear your data and clean your data. Sir. Now, data pre-processing ko last time before going into data analysis. After you're collecting your data, direct data analysis when you go to you have to make sure that the data that you have contains no errors. You have to make sure it is consistent and well organized. Well, that is what you do in the process of data pre-processing or data cleaning. Now, okay, so let's define data pre-processing more. Data pre-processing is a critical step in data analysis. It is the process of preparing the data for analysis. And so, Yes, let me provide you all with a few examples. Data preprocessing. So Anna, I have created a spreadsheet mode. Let's just say that ngagi classmates juve. I went to my classmates, I wrote down their names, and I asked for their date of birth. I asked what classes they're in. Classmate member, let's say I interviewed random people. Sorry. Let's say I asked what classes they're in, and I also asked what section they're from. Hakuimoto. Then I created a table. I have collected the data. Tangai data analysis benilo. But before that, kachibego, you have to do data cleaning, data pre-processing. Make sure all of the data is correct and in the right format. Tatagemo. Name the problem demo. I wrote down all of their names, the date of birth tage. This is all correct except anatash. This is blank the kanyamendo, which means there's a gap here, but demo. I have not collected the data for Robin involved. May kanya collect mabe, so ani ki mistake zone mo ngagi. Kasang incomplete data do what ngabisa. Taro anatash 15 July 3018 law. This is wrong data demo. Most probably a typo te. Typo im zoom to one demo. So anatash che a typo is a mashiva directly data analysis na juwachin. It would be ridiculous demo. 3018 na born below. 2025 in lo. How does that work there? So anishichi dile pinso ditash 19th June na born in there. She probably meant 19. So 다로 하나 typo 치 make the 농어기. So 하고 이모 안 돼. I've highlighted all of the errors so you can see. 하나 error 가데베이나 하고 이모 친수기. Date of birth collect 보다 your date of birth cannot be from the future demo. The 19th June se exist from everything. So there are already errors and typos in my data collection process. Class dash taro ana. Class labda it should be in the form of numbers but demo number ye format na go bate but kachibeno question mark chichujan so to class question mark in select bate mituba demo which means I do not know what tangents data is select ni try be but class labigane number ki format na go bate so this is also wrong my highlight job jai tukko ni format ye tago tukko delay sonam기 class to be Robin ki class 다루 empty 임베 하고 있면 안 돼. So empty incomplete data 제 지게 같이 같이 나온다. You have to rectify. You have to make sure these are filled up. You have to make sure that all of these are corrected and these are 같이 나온다. Corrected as well. Format correct so. The key is class negative 8 law. This makes no sense demo 다루. Class negative 8 가지고 온니데. This makes no sense. So this is wrong 다루. The section law. Section 예버되면 section D alphabet no the 지금 뭐지? A B C ana blank to incomplete data. Section 1 law. Section 1 से मिथेन बदे. It is in the wrong format again. So that's daru error chi thing. So there are many ways in which I can make errors, but I could make typos. I could forget to collect the data. I could write data in the wrong format. I could include data that makes no sense on a class negative 8 law. This is wrong there. So can you zoom it long? Okay, sorry about that. The jump's time. Okay, so 안돼 하고 이모. You can there can be many inconsistencies and errors in your data collection process and 저기 data pre-processing skip bedailo. 냠체 direct data analysis beni data pre-processing nivela wachin tashta. Collection not a wrong ass. No, your data analysis will be irrelevant. It will mean nothing there. 하고 이모 안 돼. Okay. Can you go a bit slower? Okay, I'll try to slow down. So 아니데 하고 이모다. Data pre-processing de kachbe important jevina. Magi ana teacher gi data collect belabbe. If I submitted this completely wrong method. So ana 자치 check job 고해와 review job 도 좀 저기 data collection 사오지. So 하고 이모 안 되지. Now 아니 하고 짐래 what is included in data pre-processing lo? So data pre-processing involves cleaning and transforming the data to be easily understood and analyzed. Cleaning lo data cleaning labda ani ashlam tachiteim nangagi. It is removing the bad or irrelevant pieces of data or information that is available to you. It is removing the inconsistencies, removing typos, tachi typo halam the ansukara remove any data cleaning there. It is making sure that the data you have is accurate. And then what you will do in data processing, you will again transform the data so that it can be easily understood and analyzed. So how will you clean the data? By removing errors demo. And how will you transform the data to be understood and analyzed? That means you will be encoding the data there. Encoding my last time labchumo. I hope you all understood what it was, and I hope you all remember. Okay. Can you go a little slowly? Okay, okay. Sorry. I'll try to slow down again. So examples of data errors and inconsistencies. Doubts it's lab not do. I'll try to go slowly now. So examples of data errors and inconsistencies more. Record busy. Okay. Okay. Now examples of data errors and inconsistencies. Missing data demo. Tachi ngai tem but it's kume everything. Mm. Examples of data errors and inconsistencies kachidu chidi missing data lo. Missing data gazume ana Robin ki ngai date of birth class section kanye include mavede. This is missing data de. Inconsistent data lo negative numbers locked ana tas inconsistent lawajin class labda negative sujano. This is wrong taro. Wrong format example ana best example de. Section the gazetted thungda chige alphabet ki represent dom na the section the section class 5 पे section gachmo labda section 1 is labni me what demo section dinga chigi alphabets ki represent dong but letters ki represent dong. So no, this is again wrong format not no. So how go you answer the kara. This is all the ways in which you can collect wrong data. You can have inconsistencies in your data collection process. So that is anivajunye most. Okay. And so now imagine you are collecting data on the various types of pets that people have in their neighborhood. You go door to door and ask people how many pets they have. People will give you various answers and you write them exactly as they say. Dele kachibome. Ana example chidu me tharo. Giraffe di dog lab demo, raccoon di kitilo, anzumbe dua demo, halamchi data collect benua de chigi. You went around, you sort of conducted a survey zunchme. You asked a lot of people in the demo. And now, chigi the data di collect bezanu me. Data collect bezanu, the tash tachi. Zoom everything. Okay, so dog, the, Kongara le ming assign be tu wang idi. Giraffe di dorji se jai raccoon di sange se anzumbe bebe. I have made a table. Dele table dina I have included the pets that they have. So kugi dog lap no, mogi kitty lap no, hound lap no, cat lap no, hagoi mo andi. Ta kachbe ume what you will notice is dog, the hound, the basically same thing in it. And puppy is same thing in there basically. Mengute. Dog, the puppy. Puppy is just a small dog temo the. So consum chara same bela rutueva temo. Consum chara dog selab the rutueva de. But gachbeno, ngai data collection na. Direct titano kongi gachi kanale temji, nagi ana reflect beno. Direct tijano, copy paste tano me. That will be wrong demo the. Because the dog the hound love the tame ming so so be refer builder tame it kind of sounds like completely different things demo, but you know that these are the same things the ansumchara dog hound the puppy the same is a shivate, but still you didn't correct it, you kept it just like that. The wrong ass Anzumbera kachme kitty cat the kitten the same thing me de kitty and kittens are just small cats de. So sumchara cat sit retuve de the mabe anebe. Come exactly same be refer ani bejano. They how this is wrong tana wrong do mo. Now how can you correct this? You can correct it by anate. So rectify bente. 거기 hound labde hound is basically a dog. So when you look the dog sit in ana. Dile cat gummy gums do cat gummy sum do mo ana puppy kitten the kitty ngai cat so time bate. So this is a more accurate representation in the mo. Tachi ana di tame dog the hound the two different things sumbe reflect mo. So it was not very accurate. So ani part de hago imo to. Okay. Now if the teacher that they give us is not oh yes yes anzumchin that's it. Kongi use baby terms to synonymous sevachin. Yes, you want to group them all together. Hound the dog city anzume tuwate. So che on you'll 아니 이것이랑 제게 graph to zorre 더 소소베 태우마데 울트라 태우 가라 하고 이면 안 되지. 오케이. now 지금에 지금 보자. Okay. Now can you slowly down? Okay, now cleaning the data more. Why do you need to clean the data? Well, we will need to clean the data so that, okay, so cleaning the data, why do you need to clean the data? Well, you need to clean the data so you can remove any errors or inconsistencies. So we need to make them all together. Oh, unzoom, yes, exactly. Okay, now example, ana 다시 떼임 봤대 뭐 안디 elaborate 배우고 대충 하고 입었대 지금 속에. Encoding the data. Now, why must we encode the data? The clean website, if there's different names, I'm not sure if I understood your question. 아니, synonymous do synonymous in the we just grouped them together, same zotain to go. So that later when you graph to create Buddha, it will be a more accurate description. So so we method. Actually, 자기 아니 now let's talk about why we encode data. Sometimes the data is not in the format that can easily be analyzed. My last time data encoding the last time I believe I also told you that data analysis nowadays computers computers will do it for us because we might be a bit too slow so computers will encode the data for us. The computer data encode 배우면 so 마치기 콘 text के 오면 아니베 bird 로 fish 로 cat 로 dog 로 से enter 배우다 홍수기 함이고 it's like a completely different language to them. So they cannot extract data from 아니 마치기 text 줄에 공기 data를 미터베 공기. So what they will do 마치기 Japanese 때 함하고 Japanese 때 Bhutanese 나 translate 배도좀베 공기 가지고 마치 text 디 공기 binary digits 나 조당 두고 so that they can understand it. 아니 code 나 조당 공기. So 아니 컴퓨터기 아니베 병바디 you can encode the data on 다루가 랍시 computers really love numbers 랍죠 데모 numbers 남미삼이 거에 so 가지고 cat the kongi one se 랍메 아니 roll number assign 되도 좀 치매 cat the one 이메 dog the two 이메 bird the three 이메 안준데 assign 되오메 so that they can better understand it 하고 이모도 아니데 encoding the data 아니 encode data encoding importance 하고 now data cleaning the gachmolo so data cleaning is basically the process of collecting data from multiple sources now. Remember that is data collection data. Process of analyzing data, just your data. Data collect clean process of presenting the data analysis and results. So that's direct last step na jump and the halam panagomshna or start na imbate the process of identifying and correcting errors in data. Ani imba data collection thai collection thai ta ani What is the difference between data encoding and data cleaning? Data cleaning di chei data collect bezauchi ani error the inconsistencies remove beni ase. Ana tachi ngai inconsistencies thema te mo ankara remove beni me. The data encoding di just ani me kaslang wata data thopchi mo ta data yumi de kara correct chi because you have already kasmo you have already ani de cleaned the data. 다같이 베님의 컴퓨터기 함이고에와 다나 dog kitty dog cat so 함이고에와 같이 병국이 아나 numbers assign 베정 yani lu 1 say 2 say 3 say 4 say 5 say 6 say 안좀베 so that 아니 컴퓨터기 numbers mom understand be우메와 so 거기 number assign 베베 he's trying to understand what the text means. Okay. So data cleaning 꼴을 하고 있는 어떡해? Now, what are some of the data cleaning techniques, ways in which you correct the data, like money loans and stuff? Oh, 안유좀지 저기 the yes touchlab those right format so tago wade. For example, no class negative 8 lab the sense make magwate mo anzumbe yes chilab those financial budget beni through manage be wono wanzum do the spreadsheets you show what this yes but che situation tabe be what this chero situation tabe bago format kazum use job gon mega an so xiong chero learn baby yes but that's the right idea chi anzum na use subtracting from total amount. Oh, and negative na le theo. But you have to look at the situation based on the completely. Now, data cleaning techniques. The too much just brief bill up domo. So let's move on big data cleaning techniques. So what are some of the data cleaning techniques? Much more. You can remove the duplicate records. You can correct typos demo that you wrong be spell be and to correct be. You can handle missing or invalid values or missing values. So gotta fill up be you can resolve the inconsistencies. So answer the shiva demo since we got even now, why should we clean the data? Data clean bin demo. So you can improve the quality and reliability of the data loss, which will in turn enhance the accuracy of analysis and insights. Tangai example chi chimbachin ano. Mai ta chi beiwa demo ani data collection chi. Data collection bay. Tangai ana leve. Let's say I want to create a bar graph here. On bar graph chi zai long. Uh, 그대로 bar graphs create 보다 아니면 되는 뭐 dog gamichidu kittens gamichidu hound gamichidu cat gamichidu puppy gamichidu kitten gamichidu 세도 와데 but 그치만 hound the dog rain bate mo so dile puppy a dog rain bate so in reality dog gami sum do 와데 다 three do teche bar graph na 아니면 드다버진 그치비 있다 제 bar graph की dog gamichidu hound gamichidu से represent below it's inaccurate जो मैं demo because you just said dog gamichi 부도치 잠치 두세 so 안돼 하고 이모다 가데베 if you do not clean your data 가데베 it can affect the analysis and visualization process still. Now why should we clean the data? Okay, I hope you all understood this parts. Now why should we clean the data? 안돼 하고 이모다 example of error data ngai dhachile ting an zumbe ana. So why is data cleaning important? The answer the karashim it will save time. First of all, it is required. It will save time of the to some extent, yes, but that's the That's not the most important reason why you clean data demo. It is required by law the member. It makes the data look better. Yes, it makes the data look better, but that's also not the main reason why data cleaning is important. Data cleaning is important mainly because it ensures accurate and reliable results. 하고 있는데. The data cleaning is high more. So if I had to summarize what we learned in data cleaning, data cleaning the pre-processing. Data pre-processing is just an important step in preparing data for analysis. 하고 있는데. It will help you ensure that the data is accurate and consistent. The pre-processing step also involves transforming raw data into a more usable format for analysis. 아니메데 data encoding refer 보면. And 하고 있는 now. I hope everyone understood what I just taught right now. Next, move on begin. Let us go into organizing data. So the data organized begomi importance the karagi ken moza. You are provided with a lot of information and data. You have to organize them neatly, but you have to make sure that the data you have is well organized. 제 room completely messy be 잡아진 거라 수가라 파수고 choice 수가라 ground 나 잡아진 그시 병. 제 나브낭치 그시 나온다. You want to you want a shirt lo. 제 black shirt 디고니로 팀이 더워야 되면 뭐다. If it's not well organized. 저 같은 튀는 나라 미시바데. 아니 좀베라 if you do not organize data, you already know them all. Data about almost everything is available to us. Sami do the data. So it will be very, very difficult for you to find the data. Organize be much of a so room clean be those now data pre-processing the critical step in session again. Uh, so now first of all let us learn how we can organize the data. Data encoding, cleaning, let's learn how we can organize data. Organize labda the order chi umba demo. For example, a question chi today. Do you know the order of words in the dictionary? Te? Sheba demo A B C D se jong the alphabetical order na jong ba de. So gas me dictionary na gas do words are organized in ba demo in order of anite alphabetical order na organized ben ba de. Anzumbera we will learn how we can organize data in spreadsheets and everything. Now, first of all, organizing data. While organizing data, it can be analyzed and organized in different ways to help us understand it better. We will dive into those ways to how you can sort data, how you can group data, how you can filter data. So data sorting, what and how and why do we sort the data? Data sorting is just the process of arranging data in a specific order, usually ascending or descending order. 하고이면 안 돼. That's dictionary 나가도 words 수가라 arranged in alphabetical order 되거든. A B C D E F G H I J K C 되거든. that's 같이 be니모 you are also going to arrange the data in a specific order. 로. 당의 Excel spreadsheet 나 된 게 아니지. 오케이. sorting data 나 해주면 so okay the let's say I have a company company ming the XYZ rather company ki ming hai. Okay now I sell multiple products to me cement tomelo apple grow baby tomelo pencils tomelo markers pens to car tomelo ngai the I have collected the data demo. Cement 99 kg zono, apple amchi kg zono. Kara data collect bezon me gai. Tagach benimo. I want to sort the data. Sort bebe. Organize beni. Tati kara yama bhatsu do demo 99, 35, 56 so no particular order no. Tagach beni. I want to anilo meta. Magi ascending order na gonilo. So increasing order na be. So that agi kashmota least sold product tatbe most sold product de tatbe wate. How can I do this? the any amount sold the kachigi column name be column C na me mo, so you can select any cell from column C to go column C le select beuchi ana home na jo ile gach be mo ana sort and filter se button che ani click beuchi sort from A to Z labda ani rai lowest to highest rank ani gachlau ascending order rai number le refer ba 하고 있면 안 되지. So I click 묘치 따시다. My data is rearranged there. Rearranged in such a way that I can directly see them all. Oh, this is my least sold product, apples in there. My most sold products are cement. Se. Direct uchi shebewate. So that is one of the advantages of data sorting. Se. Imbewate mo. 다치디디 다시 다치디디. 아니 왜 냅다? 야, the most sold product 같은 나생이 최고배지. the table 충분치라인 거지. But when you have a very big table, then it becomes a very big problem there. So what you need data sorting use 잡대 direct computer की बेच में ध्यान सुधारो. I do not have to manually sort it and then rearrange it in ascending order. I can just ask the computer to do it for me with the click of a button there. 하고 이모 다른 아니게 advantages 가지고 in a future na the cement 마음 저거에 쉐베와테 because I can sell more cement. In apples grow ben이 아치치 뉴스에 자고에 because I'm unable to sell many apples. Anyway, I am able to draw important conclusions from this data. 임배워테모 아니 data에 important conclusions draw baby I can make better decisions in the future and my company can 안돼 grow and become better. So 아니다 하고 있는 거 가지고 비가 data sorting이 importance 디 하고 공어다. Now data sorting 걸 하고 있나 example 하고 있는 거 다시기. So that is how you can sort your data. How to sort your spreadsheet and a process you can just go to home delay sort labbe. You can even sort it in descending order. The ascending memo descending na guni labro that option is available to you. So sitting ay now. So Anna, what is the purpose of sorting data law? Why do we sort data? First of all, to group similar data together, 임배워도 뭐 아니지. 다치 테이블나 더임바데 그시랑 것도 products that 하나 여기 어 하나 56, 58 cell benwade. So these two have been sold in similar amounts and near at the group baby similarities notice way. I can arrange data in a specific order. I can find the maximum value on the order na arrange base hoji kajbetwe ana direct hoji 99 loji. No. So since all of these three are correct, I can just say the answer is all of the above. Now grouping data ko lelak bituba. Grouping data lawachin similar data to group benimbe tachi lapchiba demo sort loda anjumbe data similar yumi to my group job nimbe grouping data is the process of arranging data into subsets chegi data di ani set imbachin bashmata the data that is grouped together the subsets sumchimbe which is based on a common characteristic. Now this change so let me show you to for example now let's say I went to Spotify me Spotify na juve magi most streamed songs tano streamed songs these are the songs to songs note down be till streams they ana 58 million youtube gandi in millions 70 million 32 million 100 million anzumbe till year of release kara mention be in which year they were released. Now kachibong lawachin same spreadsheet filtering and grouping the kachben mo lawachin let's just say can you zoom it sorry 하고리면 안 되지. Now let's say anyway jumbled with 2019 2019 2019 2020 the 2020 group payment 2013 반어도 so I want to grouped payment 어디 another ben do more the 2019 가르치가 도 2020 to separated me 2013 yeah so we do so it's very disorganized but 2014 में ज्यादा games 하고 이모 so this data set is very disorganized year of release to 아니 왜 민도가 돼 어찌지 그래서 well grouped 왜 민도 so 같이 베니모 I'm going to select all of these to go 여기 year of release grouped पे 고님 바데 2019 songs 가르치가 왜 고니 2014 2013 기 songs 수치가 왜 고니 2020 기 songs 수치가 왜 고니 뭐 once select this होची 같이 베니모 I'm going to go to data to go data से data न जोची 같이 베니모 어 ना ये सा जो ग्रुप से ग्रुप ना बेउची ना ग्रुप बेंचरे ले ग्रुप द रोस ओके सॉरी ग्रुप कॉलम हम्म अच्छी घूमे 어 어 오케이 अच्छी घूमे 음 차지 나 지금에 답게 뭐 first of all अच्छा हम को दो grouping data such lesion bel apsabe diljam chingai ani explain bege so grouping data is a process of arranging data into subsets more so grouping data allows you to perform calculations and analysis on smaller and more manageable data subsets instead of the entire data set so the concept it's mistake John, sorry to go what I actually meant was so any some songs similar characteristic do demo cara 2019 game so what do you want to do there? You want to group them all together more. So any group the watching the chizumbera data na ju group na ju any fg you can click this. Like row the group job time me. Tagashi byong anigi this 2019 karachi khabe to go. Now let's say my 2019 ki songs mungolo. I only want to see other songs 2019 ki songs tago manola wacha ana do mena minus sign thomegos ani minus sign the fg ana 2019 songs are all gone. 하고있는 아니 가지고 work 돼 있나. So I can group the data together 딜레이가 실한 거다. If I do not want 2019 songs, I click with the click of a button, they all disappeared. So grouping data di hane bela okay, data grouping ko le hakoy mo now. To create a subset of data. And now, why? What is filtering data, and why do we filter the data? Filtering data is the process of selecting a subset of data that meets a. I didn't understand Lomo. Okay. Anam, ngaidi anilavi kashilang gata. These three songs are all released in the year 2019 में होते mo. So konsu gara group chi na zogesi. Group chi na zonim bacheng has beholapchi. Data na ju group na ju dele I grouped them together. What will this do? Jika group job time ba demo ta. Now I do not want this group. 2019 the songs group mungo lapchi ana. Yeah, lapchi theastida. Then they can reappear also. Anzumbera atsukume. 아니 숨디 2020 songs mo demo. 2020 songs yang ai group begono ilo chiga. So how can I do this? Data na ju group them the chaitida. So let's say I do not want the 2020 songs also. Yeah, disappear as the Kongar. So ande hako imo. Yes, can you briefly explain about filtering data? Oh, the filtering data kole lapnita. Next. Okay, so filtering data. Hako imo andi selecting a subset of data that meets a specific criteria lo. Kaslang the specific criteria chi omba. Ani criteria meet be me data kara 아니 select job down by the filtering did. At the word skill up to Hamigomo. Example temperature over. So you have a spreadsheet full of data and you need to find something specific about data. Imbewa demo. That's the table chunku chunku jumps dindi at the hamagoade. Oh yes, criteria requirement zoom yes, yes. Any requirement meet begomi. Now okay, so delay halam duvatemo anna. It's a very long table with a lot of data. Now you need to find something specific lome. Need to filter out specific things law. For example, this feature can be used to filter feature in Google Sheets. It can be used. This applies a filter icon on the top of columns with data. Okay, data filtering. Let's see nothing. Filtering and grouping. So data na jo dile filter khatiega to. Filter yes. Select job filter groups. Mm. Now I have selected all of this more. This entire table select way. It is filtering low. The kanya with the filter button FG. But on a drop down option to him drop down option the on a serial number ngagi smallest to largest no gunlo. Sort smallest to largest. Yes. Skume. Let me do this. Filtering the another than the spreadsheet. Okay. So ande hago mo now. Anna ju whole anira select bebe filter yung ba jay. Tagach benimo I want to anna year of release na jove. I can arrange them in ascending order de. Imbe mo ta drop down option de. I can arrange them in descending order de anna from largest to smallest lapchi descending order na way. Similarly, kach betu eta numbers between say with 2019 ki songs mongolo yeah theaste. Memna. So this is a very convenient way to filter your data demo. For example, I have a very long list of songs, so I only want 2013 ki songs machine anade. I can just select 2013 songs only so that is how it works. To a stream say I want them arranged in ascending order and serial number na arrange vanilla mo. So how going mo you all understood how this works, right? And filtering digi it will help you ante sort out your data. It will help you select data meeting a specific criteria let's say you want the songs from 2013. The song should be from 2013. That is a requirement and the 2013 lapchi so that is why data filtering is very important and how now. So, Amchiramedita, if I had to summarize what we just learned, grouping data, filtering, tarugasti, sorting data, tsukol karahakoimo, and tatu dizi atsi chipsugi hamakomba. Why it is very important? Because my tables, chimena, the tables that I showed you the examples from, these were very small demo. Table chugutan to deva de kara. But real life scenario nagajbo, the tables will be very big. Bombe de umba de tachi. And examples na zumbe. Example na zumbe. The any examples na zumbe table bombe bachin gashbeni. We have a very large pile of data. The kachbo data. You have a very large pile of data. From that very large pile, you want to select data that meets specific requirements that fits the criteria that you have assigned more. Ani, if you want to select that data, you can use filtering or you can even arrange your data, organize them using data sorting, group A, betway. So you can do all of this. You can, in order to organize your data, organize bethawe, it will ande. So later on, when you want to look at the data that you have stored, when you want to find specific data about something, you can just use the filters that you've created and you group page as a so if you have organized it well later on should and you data analysis is easy job but you can even find data that you need very quickly and some table boom na leve you can find for example hello call I want information regarding hello lo which between and a date achieved na jove. I can just look up in which year hello was created mo. Tarwani date the entered best hochi hello theuntetli. So I can find for information or data for very specific things from a very large pile of information from a very big table to go. Data sorting, organizing to call it now time 11 tick to John. So what is the difference between data filtering is a part of data organizing to go. Data organizing consists of sorting, filtering, delay, uh, grouping. Yes, criteria. Can you teach again? So doubts which in Telegram na lab to it's time zosun ba time constraints ke explain bim sunime. So I hope you all enjoyed today's class. Filtering meaning ante tachi lapchuna criteria chi chinchi mo requirement chi mo so large pile of data level if you want something specific for example ngai tach deva te mo song halam deva de song 2019 ki song chi goni la wachin tamete filtering deve I can select a song from I can see which songs are from 2019 and I can get information about them but so filtering ide aneve be true filter, water filter ge gachbionte, it will remove the unneeded things demo. Dust particles to remove pe chucham chuthawa dechi water filter bola. Anzumbe spreadsheet na filter use chab da gachbiome chegi gumi information de cham chi liumewa de. Mangomi chu gara remove jome. So that is what filtering basically does. Ani hagoimo gara ge. Okay, so I sincerely hope all of you understood what I taught today. You have to go a little slowly. Okay, I'm trying my best, but 아니 땡고 팔람도 봐. So it's the faster job way to go. Uh, data data science the most probably Wednesday madam biten don't change so I wish you all the best of luck. I hope you all enjoyed today's class and thank you. That marks the end of our session. You all are dismissed.